Hey, my name's Eric. I am working on. Wait, is this right? Looks like something's kind of off. Why is this left side? Why is there a dark bar on the left side of the screen? That's very strange. Do I care about it enough to fuck around with it? Nah, probably not. Probably not. Anyways, I'm making Wisp. Wisp is for telling stories with animated faces. And it's not just for me to use to make my stupid little stories with characters. It's for you or anybody. I don't mean you make it like a big product, you know? It's just going to be there. You can use it. It's going to be on a website. And I'll show you what it looks like. I'll show you right about now what it looks like. Okay. Let's make sure that it's sized pretty well for OBS and everything. Oh, yeah, I see my face peeking through. Let's seal that up. There we go. All right. Stick myself behind the wall there. Okay. So in Wisp, you work with faces, spiels, speech, and those get combined into scenes. And the scenes are like a playable story world that you're inside of where you talk to different characters. Okay? And I mean talk to them. It's going to have speech recognition. Okay, so go to the Faces screen. This is all in the web app. It will be hosted at some point on a domain that anybody can go to and just use it. Okay, so here's the face. And what have I done recently with it? A lot of under the hood stuff that isn't so easy to demo. But basically everything, watch my cursor. Bottom left side, coming up, making a rectangle up here, coming all the way back across over here, bam, bam. So everything inside of that rectangle works. And more than that, it's following a design that I planned out that would be for an MVP. So everything that I need to make a face, a configurable, customizable face that is ready to be animated, it's ready to talk. I'll even show you. It's done. It's done. So the part about editing the face is done. Here, let's demo the test voice so you can see what this animation looks like. So if I set the test voice to male, and then I just go ahead and click on different things.
My axles? Oh, I should go back. I can't wait to see my tools again.
Right, so that's just a test voice. It's not necessarily what you want the face to say, but it's there to show you how the face is going to look while it's talking, right?
I plan to make no further plans.
The face itself, you can resize parts of it, you can replace the parts. So for the nose, you can say, I want a different nose, I want this nose. And then you got that nose. Now, I'll do some more work with either myself or a graphic artist in coming up with more assets that look a little bit better than these. But eyes, mouth, and nose are replaceable, as is the head. You can recolor everything. Boom. Boom. Okay. You can add extra parts. There's like a quick example of a hat. Right? So you can make your own character. You can define what the face looks like. But I need this face to go places besides this screen. For starters, I need it to come over to the scene screen at some point, and be the face that is used for a character in a scene. I also need to be able to get this onto the user's local file system instead of the browser, so that they have some means of backing up all their work or transferring it to a different computer. So all of the stuff that you're seeing is only stored locally. That's by design. There might be some feature in the future, a future feature of storing this in the cloud, but this is an offline first web app, and it needs to give the possibility for all of your work, all of the data that you generate, being entirely offline and outside of the hands of other people, including me. So I don't know why everyone has become so complacent about storing all their important data off in the cloud. But Wisp has decided that it's going to let you, the creator, keep everything local if that's what you want to do. And it may be even more important because you'll be testing with speech recognition while you're creating. You will be talking to these creations, and that means that your words will be recorded. Now, I don't want to send your words up to a cloud, and I've specifically chosen offline speech recognition libraries to avoid any need to send the words that you utter off to some other place. So the Googles, the Facebooks, the Amazons, the Apples of the world, they all have cloud-based speech recognition, and that works more to their favor than it does to you. For you, if you would like to have faster speech recognition, keep it local. For you, if you would like to have privacy and not have to trust the assurances of a trillion-dollar company, a complex multinational beast, that they're not going to share your information or use it to work against your own interest in some way, it's not a great option to, you know what, I'm going off on a rant. I want to get away from the rant. Let's stop with the ranting. Let's get to the working. I don't have that much time. I want to make progress. So what isn't left? What isn't done? The next thing is this new open rename, not undo and redo. That works fine. The stuff about saving this data someplace and persisting it between sessions. And I did a little bit of work yesterday, design work on a virtual file system that will live inside the browser and persist inside the browser. It'll be based on IndexedDB. There is an API that already exists that's sort of a web standard called the File System API. And I dug into it deeper, and it's deprecated. But not in a real obvious way, because one browser supports it, Chrome, and the other browsers, in a way to kind of allow websites that were built using this feature to work, they created a minimal ability to use this API. But it's essentially deprecated, and I shouldn't use it. So I'm going to make my own, and it won't be that hard. I've done similar things already. So, time to get to work. So we've got some classes for a virtual file system. It doesn't need to do every single thing that you might expect from a file system. I'm not going to do a streaming interface. I'm just going to function calls that just read or write the entire contents of the file. File is a bit of a misnomer. It's going to be stored in an IndexedDB database for maximum compatibility with all the browsers. Yeah. Okay. So let's get to work on that. I'm going to keep it inside of Wisp for now, but at some point I'm probably going to split it off into its own directory. But I'll start adding in VFS, Virtual File System. Okay. And then I've got these three classes that I was planning to implement, and I'm going to add them in now. Say virtual file. So virtual file system. I do kind of feel like I don't need it to be a class. I don't know. Maybe I do. It's not great to make everything a class. There's a thing too where it's nice if the first thing you call is not a method off of a class. I don't know. I'm going to stick with the plan. All right. So virtual file system. Okay. So, yeah. Start with the methods. Get folder, path, string, and then it will return a virtual folder. Okay, get file path, string, it will return a virtual file. Maybe just to start, let's bring it all into one file. And I'll copy it over in a little bit. All right. So should I do camel case? I think so. I think I'll do camel case. Let's leave out some of the things that aren't very MVP. I can come back to them later instead of over designing. I do have a thought, which is, do I want to just flatten this whole thing and put it all inside of methods inside of here? Am I really getting anything by having data structures that maintain individual folders and files like this? But it could be more like a key value store. That seems simpler to me in a lot of ways. Let's go back to my requirements. Let me look at these. Okay, now I said this supports hierarchical structure. But do I really need it? Like, can't the key just be the hierarchical structure? If I wanted to do something like delete all the quote-unquote files in a directory, could I just say delete all keys that match a certain pattern? The same for, I could list all the values stored at a path. I could say, what keys match this pattern, for example. Then I don't need get folder. I don't need to create a folder. It's just get value and set value. Okay. Let's play with that. Get text. Okay. All right. Set text. Okay. String. Text. String. I think this might be the way I want to go, to be honest. Because this is simple. This is very simple. Get plum. Don't worry about get bytes. In fact, I don't have to write that right away. Okay. Okay, for the indexing. Just when I open it up, I would just load in all the keys. That's it. That's pretty simple. No, I will need bytes. But you know what? I may create like methods specific to the data structures that are being stored. So I could say get audio buffer, for example. Right? So I'll wait till I actually need something before I add something. Okay. So I immediately feel better about that. Okay. I think I already have some code in a different project that I could bring over too. What did I use on this? Did I use local storage? Yeah, I did. Okay. So not this project, a different one. Encryption at REST POC, that's probably it. Yeah, okay. Okay, let's take this and copy it over. Database. Yeah, I got like getters and setters and everything. Okay. What's this IAP data? Yeah, I see. I see. Okay, keygen data. I don't need anything with that in it, so I'm just gonna yank that. Keygen store. I don't need anything with that. Let's delete everything that isn't needed so I can get a smaller starting point. This, do I have to put anything in the first record? Do I have to do that? I don't know what I do. How am I using this schema? How am I using it? Oh, it's this populate stores thing. uses the schema and it says what? Get store object values from the schema. This is code I wrote, but I wrote it like 9 months ago. What's my goal for this session? My goal for this session, which has another hour and 15 minutes to it, is to be able to get and set text inside of IndexedDB. That's it. That's all. I can do that. So this other stuff I've got here, I'm trying to see what is kind of gold plating that I don't actually need. Let's say populate stores, I don't need it. Let's just say I don't need it. And if I'm wrong, I can bring it back. If I do that, then I see that gray out, means I don't need it. Or I kind of like this. Let's see. Okay. If you need to populate. Dang it. I'll just do it this way. Okay, putting that back in. Because maybe it does come in handy. But if I take out keep going back and forth in this. I have to remember I can add back in code. It just isn't that hard to add it back in. Okay. I kind of don't like this create stores thing either. Let's see. Store schema equals schema store name. Schema key value store. DB create object store. Okay. So it's only taking this part here. Key path ID. That's it. That's all it's taking. Okay. I don't need this. And that population code would have only worked with this data structure for populating one record in each thing. So, okay. It's going to get confusing. to have my thing be called a key value store, and there's other keys here being described. Okay, but I'm starting to get it though. Okay, so seems like what I want. Is for the record to contain value. ID, I guess. I also wonder, can I have my key value be a string? I'm going to check that in a second. If I can't, then let's go ahead and have it be that. And then bytes. Then I'll have to do some kind of conversion between. I don't want to get into all the encoding, decoding around text yet. So just for now, let's do text, string or null. Okay. Let me figure out if I'm allowed, when I create a store, to have the key path be a text value. Indexed db key path. Let's go to good old MDN. A trustworthy source of information. Okay. bit of a neophyte with IndexedDB, so I'm just figuring out a few things. Okay. How to structure the database. Object stores. So I'll have my key value store. Whenever value stored in object store is associated with a key. There are several different ways that a key can be supplied depending on whether option is a key path or a key generator. The following table shows different ways keys are input. Key path. No. Well, any kind of value, improved values in the strings. So a separate key argument whenever you want to add a new value. Yes and no. This object store can only hold JavaScript objects. Objects must have a property with the same name as the key path. Okay? This object can hold any kind of value. The key is generated automatically. Or you can apply a separate key argument if you want to use a specific key. You can also create indices on any object store provided the object store holds objects, not primitives. An index lets you look at the values stored in an object store using the value or property of the stored object rather than the object's key. I do like that. Okay, so if we specify the key path option, yes, this means that what I pass to the put has to be a JavaScript object. That's okay. Key generator auto increment. So say I'm just doing the key path and it's a question of what's the difference between doing this or this. I'm kind of thinking I'll want my own in-memory index. That does mean I'll need to get all the friggin' keys. Okay, if I make my own index, what does that get me? I guess pattern matching on the keys, like give me all values that match this particular pattern. Let's get into it with baby steps. Okay. The value of the generator is stored in the object part with the same name as given. However, such part already exists. The value of that property is used as key rather than generate new key. Okay, so this will give me the ability to generate another key by ID. Give me the ability to automatically like increment a value. Let's start with that. Options, key path ID, and auto increment, true. Oh, the other thing I could do here is bytes unit 8 array or null, and then just store one of them, and that way I don't have to worry about conversion. Yeah, I think this is probably not a bad way to go. Let's get rid of IAP data. Get text, key string, promise, string, like that. And then then you need something like, let's see. This can probably going out like a get record function. Get record by key. Key string key value. What's it called? Key value record. Let's be consistent. Also, can I just do a type? Let's just do a type. I think at one point I thought everything had to be an interface, and it doesn't really need to be an interface. So that. Get Yoshi boy. It's going pretty good. Kind of digging into some IndexedDB stuff, which is like a persistent storage for web browsers. And I'm just trying to get basic writing and reading of a piece of text in the next hour or so. By key, and I don't know. let's make it simple for now. Ignore this part here. Command line interface project. What kind of stuff? What does your command line tool do? Why would you not be happy with this? A Discord bot. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I made one Discord bot a little while back. I kind of like the architecture they chose for it, where you just run the bot as another client against their servers. It's not bad. Not a bad way to do it. View CLI. I'm gonna check that out. Discord view CLI. Maybe it's not Discord. Okay. Alright, yeah. I've never used Vue for good things about it, but yeah, I'm in the React world for the time being. Yeah, I see. What was the Discord bot that I wrote? It was some dumb little thing like that has been done a million times before. It's like after you arrive at the Discord server, it says something like, do you get the rules? Do you understand the rules? And you say yes, and then it gives you a new role, which allows you access to some other channels on the Discord server. Pretty simple stuff. Okay. Oh, that's cool. But I don't understand though, because you've got a bot. The bot's going to respond to things that happen in the Discord chat window. And you're bringing in the concept of templates, like it's going to create something for you. Is it maybe like the templates generate the bot? Or is it the bot that uses the templates to generate something else, like features? That part maybe confuses me. I may be making you type your fingers off with all these questions. Now I get it. So you've got the CLI, which will generate the bot. Got it. Then it makes sense when you tie it back to Vue. I wondered about the interfaces for getting at the chat history. Is that like ICQ as opposed to like a Discord API? Oh, I'm getting confused between Twitch and Discord. I'm totally getting confused between the two. First I was talking about Discord, then I started bringing up getting the chat history. That was something I was trying to do on Twitch, which is different. Never mind. Yeah, because Twitch has got like a separate API for a whole bunch of stuff, and then they've got like a think it's ICQ to get at the chat stuff, but in Discord you can use their API to get to the chat history. Which is kind of interesting because like you can have like a full export of all the Discord chat that's going on in your server. Just streaming by and being like when I had my bot running and I turned it off, it would give me text of like every single message that anybody wrote. Yeah. Well, anyways, it's a fun area of development. I definitely see why someone would want to make Discord bots or CLIs to generate Discord bots. All right, let's see if I can get this stupid read and write text thing to work. Okay. Now, why are you complaining about this? Because you're a promise, that's why. Okay, so then if we say const record equals await, get record by key, then we return the record text like that. And why do you complain about that? Oh, because it could be null. That's cool. I'll say one other thing I like about code generation approach that you're using. I think people are importing too many libraries. I would rather your project generate at least some starting code that works for them and have them just tweak that code than import 5 million libraries. If I create a brand new React web app using the Create React App CLI tool, I'll end up with over 1,300 imports into that friggin' project, which I think is like a travesty of sort. I don't worry about the resources used in loading those libraries, but it's more like supply chain attack vectors. So I like code generation, particularly if it just hands people some code that works without having them import 1 million libraries. Yeah. So let's see. Const record, get record by key. Whoops. Sounds pretty good. Alright. Record text equals text. And then we do put this might be inefficient. I can make it efficient later. Okay, next, what do you want? What do you want? What's the next thing? Show me the signature, please. DB, store name. Key value store, okay. Just delete this. And 385 lines of JavaScript. That's how much you have? Well, maybe it's a very powerful 385 lines. Okay, don't need to put an await in front of it. This is fire and forget, or I can wait. I can do an await. That's fine. Okay, set text, get text. This has a chance of working the first time. What is this? Weird. What is this file? Oh, that's right. Somebody came on the stream and they said, how do I do this? And I said, oh, here, look, I'll make a quick example. Okay. All right. That should never have been kept there. Okay. You can be deleted. You can be deleted. Okay, the other thing I need to do is if there's no value, then just create a new record. Key text. As what was it? Key value record. Maybe it should be like that. And honestly, I could just do that. Okay. Then it's going to set the value of the text, and then I'll put there. Okay. So that's all good. Let's see if this actually works. I'll go to a little quick run tester, do an import, get text, yeah, from there, and set text from there. Okay, set text. Fruit. Apple. The most likely thing that happens is a runtime error. Let's just delete it. It's not really got anything that useful in it. Okay, so let's see if that compiles. Git status. That's fine. Okay, let's see if we're back in action. There we go. What else we got? Console. Oh, it did come back with Apple. That's cool. Now, if I want to have this be a little bit nicer, I can go back to quick run and I can say await, set text, and I can say await. Here, let's put this all inside of a test function. Async function test. Okay. And then let's change this to banana. There we go. Banana. Yeah. Got all this data that this screen generates, this web app I wrote, and I want to be able to save it to local persistent storage. That's the basis of all this work. Okay. So that's pretty good, but I'm not actually using the actual key. So I want to figure out how to look up the information by key, which is a field other than the primary key. Okay, so how do I set or create an index on a different field? Okay, create index key. Okay. I mean, I could also be using the key path on something besides the ID. I kind of like that. Kind of like that a lot. I don't need the auto increment thing anyways. That's even more elegant than adding an index. So let's go back to the database. And let's say there is no ID. And the key path is just key. And there is no auto increment. If that's true, key can be a string. Okay. Get text, gonna pass the key. It's gonna look up by key. Yeah, this isn't too bad. Let's look at the code up above, make sure I haven't introduced something stupid. Put store, object to store, fine. Get, store, key. Get, okay, get it by key. Cool. Open. Anything I gotta do here? It's a bit of hard-won knowledge to have this code here, so I'm going to add it back in. Where store is created. Populate stores. DB schema. That's not bad. So let's see if this works. Go back to my quick run, and we'll do let's do delete database. Not fruit. It's got to be something else. Well, no, I can do fruit because I'll overwrite the value. And then await set text. Pet dog. Happily dog. Did I misspell? Yeah, I did. Cool. Okay. What if I don't delete the database? Still good? Yep. Okay. What if I don't set the text? Is it gonna retain whatever I put there? I'm sure it will, but you know. Yeah. Okay, that's cool. What if I refresh? Totally get a new DOM. Yeah, it's all there. It's good. Okay. So that pretty well covers the goal that I had for the session. It's just a question of, do I want to pick a stretch goal for the half hour I've got left? And I think I do. I think let's rename this for what it actually is. And just start making this what I'm actually going to use. Okay, so we can also do the get bytes. Hey, you doing open source? You doing like GitHub? Yoshi? Reason I ask is because I mean, if you've got it, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of fun to follow along a little bit with source code other people have, stuff like that, you know. But if you happen to be interested in stuff I'm doing, it's up here. Damn. Okay, I was going to rename this. Just call it key value store. And then let's call this persistence. And that'll be where everything goes. Yeah, sure. That'd be cool. Yeah. Like my curiosity always has limits, but I've got, you know, some interest in what other people are working on. So another thing that I need to do is be able to get a list of yeah, go ahead. Just realize that anything you put in chat's public, and it's all good. So it's up to you as far as the privacy of it. Because if you put something there, it goes into the video, and you know. But if you want to whisper it, it's up to you. Okay. All right. I will copy this. Then come back over to my main broadcasting screen and paste. There we go. Nice, got your Trello board. Got your MVP definition. Suggest feature. Create template prompts. Save Trello API key and tokens secretly. Create privacy policy templates. Config prompts documentation. API backend for collecting usage data. What are you going to use for your backend? Yeah, sure. Express is pretty easy. And then I think you said like, well, the MongoDB was for generating the bot and the template there, but I imagine you might use MongoDB again for your own, for your API backend. I mean, it could all just be in memory, but assuming you want persistent storage. Yeah, anyways, very cool. Well, I suggested it because I was parroting you a little bit, because you said up above, if I remember correctly, that generating a website, a database with MongoDB, an event handler, and a command handler. Yeah. But it should work. Doesn't seem like a bad decision, because your use case of saving the API key and token doesn't really require a lot of like the features of a relational database. That's just kind of if you've got the API key, go get the record or document that contains a token. So yeah, makes sense to me. And some people might want to do like serverless or something else they're comfortable with. Sure. Although I don't understand what you meant by generating a website. Because why would you generate a website for a Discord bot? Not arguing with you at all. I'm just trying to understand your project. Okay. So thinking about this a little more. Let's go back to balsamic. That makes some sense, actually. Okay, this is what I want to look at. So just thinking about this a bit, I've got this directory structure I wanted. I mean, I could use document stores for these, but I like the hierarchical aspect of these projects. So one project gets its own directory, and then da-da-da-da. So then the key in this case would be concatenated together projects, default faces, and then, yeah, all this is one key. But if I want to say, give me all of the faces in the default project, so I'm just wondering, do I want to keep the structure inside of all inside of that table, that key value store table? Do I want to split out my different things into separate stores? I don't think I do. Not the second thing. So if I do want to keep it all inside of one store, do I want to create a separate index for the path part? I think in order to figure this out, I need to know more information about the performance. So if I populate this with just a ton of stuff, if I just put just a whole bunch of records in there, what does that do? Let's put some realistic number of records. Let's say 3,000. So that's a lot, but it's not unfeasible. Somebody could actually put that many records there. So the key needs to be unique. So we'll say key equals key Okay, and then we'll say key equals key I. Text const text equals, and then just, I don't know, I mean it should honestly be like a large value. Random, not random, but just junk. Okay, const. Wow. Here. That's a lot. Okay. Wait, is that text? Key, junk text. Okay. And then, since it might take a while to finish, let's do console log. I don't think it'll take that long, but just in case, I want to be able to see it moving. Okay, this is now coming from persistence key value store. It's like it can do maybe 300 or 400 records a second, maybe 200, something like that. That's fine. But the thing I want to figure out is how long does it take to read them all back in? Indexed db read all keys in store. Get all keys from object store. Yeah, that's what I want. This was back in 2013. Let's look at the bug report he's talking about. Yeah, get all keys method. That's what I want. That's what I want. Did they close this bug? They fixed it. Okay, yeah, cool. Get all keys. So with this open, this seems a little bit dumb. Alright, hold on. I guess one thing at a time. Oh, it's gotta be a transaction, okay. Don't need to write, just read. Object store, get all the keys. Yeah, I don't have to pass a query, I can just save, just get them all. Get them all. Okay. And it's probably gonna return. What will it do? What will it do? Go look at the actual documentation. Get all keys. Is it synchronous? Array of the keys for all records, okay? Const keys. String boom equals like that. What do you not like? Let me see. Where else did I do something like that? What's the pattern? Request. It's going to return a request, so just use this pattern. Const request equals bam. What's your complaint with this? What are the possible values? Read write's fine. I'm just leaving it for that for now. Okay. Resolve. You should be passing the keys. String, bam bam, and then keys, like that. But something about that you don't like. It's gotta come in the event. Is that what we have to do? Okay, how does it work up here? Event any, which is not used, but the request will have a result. So let's just do that. Okay. Promise wrapping. Okay, let's see how this does. function adjunct. Give this a 48% chance of working the first time. Hey, it worked. Also, it looks pretty friggin' instant. It is instant. So no noticeable delay for returning 3,000 keys. And all those records were populated with a pretty large amount of data with it. So this is good. What it means is I don't have to use an index for a separate path value. I can, but I don't have to. And I can take those keys and put them in my own data structure and have an in-memory index. So if my key values were structured like this, projects default faces old billy.yml, like a file path. A key could be projects default faces old billy.yml. That could be the key. And that would serve just fine for looking up that exact file, but I could also say, give me all the keys or all the files, all the text from the faces directory, which is kind of built into the key. That would be performant. But I may want to explore just adding an index to a separate path value. Okay, let me take one more look at this. What's this? It is possible to create indexes that are not unique. Okay, so they've got the code here to create an index, but how do you retrieve? If I go back to get class object store get, and you just pass the key, and that corresponds to the key path. I'm guessing there's some other method that can be called. To retrieve by, another indexed value. So IDB object store, let's just see what methods it has. Okay, this is probably it right here. Get all, then you say the query, and in that case it'll return everything. And that other method I just called a moment ago, called get all keys, I believe it also takes optionally a query. And if I've got the index on a path on there, then I should be fine. Okay, what's this key range? I kind of don't get this. Interface of the continuous interval over some data type that is used for keys. No, that's not quite what I want. Or maybe it is, but I don't quite get how I'd specify a field beyond the one that's in the key path. Examples, please. DB transactions, things, key range, A to F. Yeah. But in this case, you're not querying. There's nothing here that specifies which field. It seemed really like that was going to be it. Now it's just kind of like I don't see how it would query on a different field. It felt like I was in exactly the right place, but now I'm just not sure. A value that is resolves to an IDB key range. Open key cursor. What about that? Key range. Get all. Matching the specified parameter. Or all objects in the store if no parameters are given. Okay. A key or IDB key range to be queried. It's so weird. It's so weird the way they've got this written out. They keep sending me back this IDB key range, but it doesn't indicate how to use a field other than the one for the key path. Let me just use IDB key range for non-key path. Different field. Sometimes I can look at a question and there's code in it. Okay, yeah, this gives me a hint. So if I open the index off of the store, whichever one, like I can have a path index off of the store. Open that, and then I use that as a key. That may do the trick. Okay, so I'm going to finish up this session here pretty quick. Yoshi, I'm just going to write a few notes and then head off. I'm going to get dinner going. So what I learned for the next session. It is performant to get all keys for 3,000 plus records, and that can be put into an in-memory index outside of IndexedDB. But you should be able to create an index on the object store for a separate path member, and then call object store index name to retrieve that index, and then call get all, let's see, index get all path, or something like, to retrieve records that match the path. Also index get all keys path. Just get that's not as useful. I don't think it works to call index get all keys path to just get the membership of values stored at a path, because it will just return the path. Anyhow, I'll come back to that tomorrow. All right. This is the end of the stream and the start of my dinner time. Yoshi, thanks for hanging out. I hope to see you again later. Anybody else that's here, thanks for hanging out. Catch y'all later. Stopping the stream. Stopping the stream. Stopping the stream now.